Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Wehry History and Entertainment News of the Berkshires and beyond. As fall is in full bloom, there are many different events going on. On this episode, I'll be talking about the Namkyog Pumpkin Festival, several local concerts, and more. Plus, I'll be talking about some leadership changes at a local museum and a college. And to get ready for the Halloween season, I'll be discussing the first two Scream films. First, it's time for this episode's trivia question. This episode's question is, how many presidents has MCLA had? Now, for this episode's local headlines. First, WWHEN brings two important local leadership changes in both arts and education. Our first change is happening at the Clark Art Institute. Director Olivier Mezelet will be stepping down starting in July 2026. Mezelet, a widely respected curator and art historian, will return to his native France to pursue a variety of independent projects. Mezelet joined the Clark's staff in July 2016, at a pivotal moment in the Institute's history. Under Mezelet's leadership, the Clark embraced its new buildings and campus and began developing exciting new exhibitions and programming in fulfillment of the Institute's goals of encouraging greater public engagement with art. There were also challenging times, including the pandemic and federal funding issues, but the Clark managed to remain strong. In a press release, Mezelet stated, quote, "The Clark has long held a very special place in my heart. Being entrusted to lead the organization and this exceptional staff has been one of the greatest honors and privileges in my life," end quote. It is unknown who will take over Mezelet's position. Our second leadership change is happening at MCLA College in North Adams. President James Burge, who, full disclosure, was the president when I attended the college, announced during the annual MCLA opening breakfast for staff and students that he would be retiring at the end of the 2025-2026 school year. A former president at Franklin Pierce University in New Hampshire, Burge started his tenure in 2015. Burge has led the college through some difficult years recently, as the pandemic and a drop in enrollment has affected not only MCLA, but other small colleges throughout the region. With that said, he is leaving with enrollment on the rise, new programs in place, and the institution on strong financial footing. It will be up to the new Board of Trustees to begin the search for a new president. Stay tuned to WWHEN for more information. MCLA also provides the answer to this episode's trivia question. As a reminder, this episode's question was, how many presidents has MCLA had? The answer is 12. The first president was Principal Frank Murdoch. Principal Murdoch served as the first principal of the North Adams Normal School, a role he held for 25 years from 1896 until 1921. Today, MCLA's Murdoch Hall is named after him. Three other former presidents have also had buildings named after them. Albert G. Eldridge, Grover C. Bowman, and Eugene F. Friel. MCLA has also had two female presidents. Catherine A. Tissinger from 1984 until 1991, and Mary Grant from 2002 to 2014. Grant was also the first alumni to become president. For our next story, we'll be visiting Mass MoCA for a new art exhibit titled Gemina Serrano Rhapsody. Gemina Serrano engages craft traditions to imagine a future built on values of collectivity, reconfiguration, and repair. For Rhapsody, the title of the exhibition and the installation at its core, Sarno collaborated with artists, teachers, and makers, most of whom are from the Global South, combining filmmaking, sound, and sculpture with contemporary and traditional craft practices. Within a global context of extreme violence, fragmentation, and destruction, the artists share time, space, and resources to deepen solidarity through making, repairing, and the collective production of alternate forms of knowledge. This exhibit will open on October 18th. Visit massmoca.org for more information. For our next subject, we'll be going to the Berkshire Theater Group in Pittsfield for a concert with the cover band. Experience the timeless melodies of the Carpenters as Yesterday Once More, a tribute to the Carpenters, brings their iconic music to life at the Colonial Theater in Pittsfield. This captivating performance meticulously recreates the original concert experience, complete with the signature harmonies, rich arrangements, and heartfelt lyrics that defined the duo's sound. From chart-topping hits like Close to You, We've Only Just Begun, and Top of the World, to fan favorites such as Rainy Days, Superstar, and Please Mr. Postman. The show offers a nostalgic journey through the Carpenters' extensive catalog. The talented ensemble behind Yesterday Once More delivers each song with remarkable authenticity, capturing the essence of Karen and Richard Carpenter's musical legacy. This show will be going on October 18th. For more information, visit the website shown here. For our next story, we'll be visiting the Wehry Theater in Great Barrington for 2 concerts. The first is with Matt Cusson. Matt Cusson is a Grammy-nominated, multiple award-winning singer, pianist, songwriter, producer, arranger, and graduate of Berkshire Community College. In addition to recent tours with Christina Aguilera, Megan Hilty, David Koz, and India Ari with Javier Colon, Matt has worked with many of the world's biggest artists, including Stevie Wonder, James Taylor, Anderson .Paak, Dua Lipa, CeeLo Green, Leslie Odom Jr., Billy Porter, Michelle Nedocelio, mentors Brian McKnight and Livingston Taylor, and many, many more. You can hear Matt's music on an array of albums from different artists on different songs, multiple movies and TV shows, and massive collaborations with NASA and Lifetime, and the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree lighting, among others. Recently, Matt arranged Irving Berlin's Count Your Blessings for the New York Pops with conductor Stephen Reinke, played at Carnegie Hall. And with the many arrangements you can hear of Matt's All Over the World, his version of How Deep Is Your Love, arranged for King's Return, was nominated for a 2023 Grammy for Best Arrangement. This concert is scheduled for October 25th. Our other concert being held is Natalie Merchant. Over her 40-year career, Natalie Merchant has earned a reputation for being a songwriter and recording artist of rare quality, a captivating stage performer, and a skilled producer. She has also distinguished herself as a social justice and environmental activist through her work with a wide variety of nonprofit organizations and by creating documentary films and large-scale community art projects. Excuse me. Natalie began her career as the lead vocalist and lyricist of the pop music band 10,000 Maniacs in 1981 and released 2 platinum and 4 gold records with the group. She left the band in 1993 and has subsequently released 9 albums as a solo artist, with combined sales of 7 million copies. Merchants Awards for Artistic Excellence and Philanthropic Work include the ASAP Championship Award, the Library Lion Award from the New York City Public Library, and the John Lennon Real Love Award. Earlier this year, the National Head Start Association made Natalie their National Artist in Residence. This concert will be going on October 31st. For more information, visit the website shown here. Fall is a popular event for outdoor activities. For our next segment, we'll be focusing on several of them in Berkshire County. First up is the announcement of Pittsfield's annual Halloween Parade. The City of Pittsfield's Department of Community Development Recreation Program has announced its 79th annual Halloween Parade, which will be held on Friday, October 24th at 7 p.m. on Tyler Street. Floats, marchers, bands, and more are wanted as the Pittsfield Halloween Parade seeks participants. This year's parade theme is Haunted Hometown Spooktacular, and participants are encouraged to base their float designs, decorations, and/or costumes around iconic past Halloween parades that have occurred in Pittsfield since the mid-1940s. Schools, local business organizations, and community civics groups are encouraged to participate in this Pittsfield tradition. The parade is scheduled for Friday, October 24th, starting at 7 p.m. It will take place on Tyler Street. The deadline for complete parade floats is October 10th. Additionally, there will be a mandatory meeting for new parade participants, in which one representative from each organization must attend to participate in the parade. The meeting will take place at 6 p.m. Monday, October 20th, in room 203 of City Hall. For more information, visit the City of Pittsfield's website shown here. Up next is the North Adams Fall Foliage Parade. Each year, One Berkshire collaborates with the City of North Adams to host a festive, inclusive, and vibrant downtown parade, celebrating all things autumn in the Berkshires. The entire community is invited to participate in this beloved event, which takes place on the first Sunday of October. This year's theme is To Northern Berkshire and Beyond. According to the website oneberkshire.com, quote, calling all beings of the cosmos, this year the parade promises to be a spellbinding journey into the extraordinary, where dreams take flight and imagination knows no bounds. Explorers of all ages are called up to fire their imaginations and blast off from Saturn or your home to participate in this year's parade. Dust off your moonbots, bedazzle your rockets, dressed in your best galactic gear, and join us for a celebration that is totally interstellar, end quote. This year's parade route is 1.2 miles and mostly flat, making the parade more walkable for the parade for all ages and abilities. The shorter parade route is also less of a time commitment for participants. It starts at the intersection of State Street and Old State Street, before moving to Curran Highway between DeSanti Field, North Point, and United Cerebral Palsy, UCP, South Point, at roughly 400 Curran Highway to 500 Curran Highway. It ends at the intersection of Ashland Street and Washington Street, same as last year. The Fall Foliage Parade is scheduled to take place on October 5th. For more information, visit the website shown here. Also happening is the annual Namkyog Pumpkin Show in Stockbridge. The Namkyog Pumpkin Show invites you to embark on a delightful Halloween experience at Namkyog's estate's renowned gardens, where the magic of the season comes alive through the enchantment of over 1,500 jack-o'-lanterns on display alongside a vibrant array of mums, pumpkins, and charming gourds, many of which were grown right here at Namkyog. Indulge in the flavors of fall with hot cider and seasonal treats available for purchase on site, adding a cozy touch to your visit. The incredible Namkyog Pumpkin Show will take place Wednesdays through Sundays throughout the month of October. It is located at 5 Prospect Hill Road in Stockbridge. Parking is off-site to provide access for more guests. Tickets are non-refundable and non-transferable across states. The events will take place rain or shine. It's now time for this episode's movie portion of WWHEN. Again, October is quickly approaching, so Halloween movies are a great pastime. Over the next few episodes, I'll be talking about one of the all-time classic horror movie franchises, the Scream series. This episode we'll focus on the first two films. The first Scream movie was released in 1996. In the town of Woodsboro, two teenagers are gruesomely killed by a mysterious stranger wearing a white mask. Ghostface. A panic breaks out in the town, and the focus shifts to Sidney Prescott, who is still reeling from her mother's murder a year ago. Reporter Gail Weathers, who wants a scoop on the story, and Sheriff Dewey Riley, who's trying to keep the peace. Scream 2 was released the next year. It focuses on Sidney trying to recover from the traumatic events in the first movie while she attends college. Gail Weathers has written a book about the events in the first film. And it seems that a new killer is inspired. The Scream franchise is one of horror's most iconic ones. First, some context as to why. In the late 90s, the horror movie genre was at its lowest point. Many people thought horror was the bottom of the barrel. So, in order to save it, who better than to direct the Scream franchise than Wes Craven, the king of horror? Scream 1 opened number 3 at its first box office run, but word of mouth and water cooler talk, there was no social media, caused it to be a huge sleeper hit. The next year, Scream 2 was one of the biggest hits of the year. So what makes these films so good? The main thing that separated the Scream franchise from others was its awareness. Characters in both films are aware of horror films and the cliches they contained. This is true for survivors, victims, and unfortunately, the killers. Another reason these movies work is because of the killer Ghostface. The ghost faces are portrayed by different people in each movie, but he, she, they are always voiced by the same actor, Roger L. Jackson, whose face we never see. This creates suspense as to who the killer could be, but it also creates fear, because it could be anyone. The first two movies aren't too bloody, just full of jump scares and gotcha moments. The first two movies are neck and neck in terms of excellence, but I've got to give the edge to the first movie by a score of 8.5 to 8.4. It's splitting hairs, but the first movie is better just because of how fresh it was at the time. That ends this episode of Wehry History and Entertainment News in the Berkshires and beyond. if you would like to watch this or any other WWNHEN episode again, you can visit PCTV's website, shown here, or my YouTube page at RT Wehry. And I want to thank CTSB TV and NBCTC for showing my show on their public access station. Thank you.